Hi everybody, this is Michael Warner, and welcome back to Rocking Out with Autism. So, it is April, it is Autism Awareness Month, although, however, I'm pretty sure that most of the world is not really concerned about that right now, with still this pandemic of, COVID-19, or to some of you, the coronavirus. I actually wanted to kind of share a little story with you guys. Something that kind of I thought was really sad and happened yesterday. For those of you who might remember, I said that I'm over here, you know, stationed at Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm in the Air Force, and currently I'm working and volunteering at the VA. I'm standing guard at the gates, basically, helping the veterans get to their appointments for those that still have medical appointments at the hospital. Now, to be quite honest, you know, the city of Albuquerque has pretty much shut down most places. Probably like just in some of your other hometowns and other places around the nation that you may be going under some of the exact same stuff as we are. Restaurants are pretty much closed except for, takeout or drive through. People are not really supposed to be out, I think, after like 10 or something like that. The Walmarts, I think, over here close like at 8:30. I think Target closes at 9:30. So, most everything's kind of shutting down a little bit. And most people are staying home, and if they have a medical appointment, they're either getting a phone call, or for those people that actually have internet access and have a computer, they may be, doing Skype or some type of other video service or whatever. But I know here in the city of Albuquerque, a lot of the buses are, not going to the same stops as they used to. For us at the veteran hospital, they're not going up to the front entrance of the hospital anymore. They stop way down the road. So that kind of forces people that are veterans basically to walk. And I'm not gonna say. I mean, I really don't know the distance. If I had to guess, maybe, maybe a mile, maybe a little bit more than a mile, from the bus stop to the front door of the hospital. And I think it's kind of messed up. I mean, I understand the pandemic. I understand, having to screen everybody and be cautious. But I still think it's really sad to just have to see veterans, some of them that can't even walk, that you're basically, having to use a cane or have a push wheelchair because maybe they didn't get one of those electric fancy ones, one of those scooter things. And they're having to literally go uphill to get to their appointment. And like I said, I want to share this story because I thought it was really sad, and it happened yesterday. So we had a young man. I have to say probably pretty much close to my age. He may have been a few years older than me, but definitely like my age, middle aged man. And I'm not making fun of him whatsoever, but he was like, you guys, like Simpson yellow, like the cartoon Simpsons. He was that yellow. I mean, I've never seen jaundice that bad in a person. I used to be an LPN, if I haven't mentioned that before. For those of you that don't know what an LPN is, it's a licensed practical nurse. Some people call it licensed vocational nurse, depending on, what state you're in. But, I mean, I haven't seen pictures of it. I haven't seen anybody actually with jaundice. I've seen pictures, and usually it's like children, like newborns or something like that may have it. But I mean, he was really, really, really yellow, you guys. And I guess the ER here at the hospital released him, let him go. And they didn't offer him a ride or nothing. Just let him go. And I can tell you guys, He was barely keeping it together. You know, it was like he was about to collapse right on the road. And he was asking us, is there any like transportation back to Kerr Street? I may be saying that wrong, so I'm just gonna spell it for anybody that may live in Albuquerque. Know what road I'm talking about? Coors, Kerr Street, or Coors Street, kind of like the beer, Coors Light. And just to give you kind of like an idea of how big Albuquerque really is, from the base to like Kerr Street, I mean, depending on where in Kerr Street you're going to, it's about a 40 to 45-minute drive, so almost an hour, and that's still in the city of Albuquerque. So I mean, there's no way that guy could have walked there, no way. But the fact that they just released him like that and he couldn't even walk was bad. Now here's the sad part. He had 99% liver damage. That's what he told us. And the doctors gave him 30 days to live. And even though I know we had this pandemic going on, I think it was really messed up that nobody thought about, offering him a ride. Or even maybe just like, I don't know if Uber's still going on, but I think taxis are still, I know I've seen taxis going around. I mean, nobody could have bought him a taxi. Seriously, a taxi. I mean, you couldn't buy him one or get him one. So I'm glad, like what my coworkers were doing, people that I'm like working with at the gates, that they said, we're not doing this, and that they actually called the nurses to come get him and try to find him a ride. Well, I'm still was at the gate. He came back down again. They released him again. Released him. But I guess somebody, luckily, gave him a cell phone. So, I don't know if they actually just let him borrow one or what, or somebody just offered him a really cheap cell phone. But luckily he got a ride. But the other thing that kind of was sad was he was telling us, basically a story. He was, in my opinion, a real veteran. And I'm not saying, when I say real veteran, I'm everybody that basically, serves in the military as a veteran. But what I mean by real, I'm only saying real because he was deployed. He actually, was in a combat or battlefield. And to me, that's what I think of when I say real veteran. Somebody that actually, in my opinion, did something. I'm not saying that I don't want anybody to get mad at me and I'm a veteran. I've done something. I just feel like somebody that actually, went to war or gone to, deployments and things like that. I feel like they've done a little bit more. That's why I like to use that word real, just to say that they've done a little bit more. So hearing him, saying that he was deployed and he was out there, makes me probably guess that he was probably, because he was Air Force, I'm guessing he was probably, likely to be security forces, because they always get deployed, especially to, to the war zones and things like that. Or maybe he could have been a maintainer, working on aircraft, or maybe he could have been a vehicle mechanic. But, I just feel like that's, again, that first part, like I said, you guys, we were going to let, or no, I'm not going to say we, because it wasn't my decision, but the VA, the hospital, was just going to let this guy go. 30 days to live, and just be like, you know what, find your own ride home. And I have to say this, I usually, don't put a lot of emotion, as you can see on my face. You can still see I don't have a whole expression. It is part of my autism. Autistics, we don't usually show a lot of emotion sometimes. But I've been getting really, really, PO'd at some of my friends on Facebook who have been saying this virus is not that serious. People are blowing out of proportion, and saying, I wish people would stop freaking talking about it, And I'm watching people post things like, "Oh, in China today, they have, or the numbers in China today have 1,500,000 people or whatever been cured of the virus." Like, last time I checked, we don't live in freaking China. We live in the USA. And if you really wanted to post something on your Facebook page about a victory, how about posting something that has to do with our own damn freaking country? Our own damn country. The United States has more cases of the coronavirus than any other country right now. And if you want to talk about how serious it freaking is, we have 2 mobile hospitals, flotation basically hospitals that are now in California and New York. There is a shortage of nurses and doctors. Right now, with me being in the military, for those of you who don't know, they're actually sending out letters to retirees asking them to come back into the military. I am stationed right now in Kirtland Air Force Base. I can't even leave the state. I can't leave the state. And my own family is 19 freaking hours away from me by freaking car. My best friend, the only friend that I can really say I have, because most of my friends haven't even freaking called or texted me to see if I'm okay, is 23 hours away by car. And I can't go see her. And yet you want to go on Facebook and say we shouldn't talk about the virus. Or say I'm healthy. Well, whoop-de freaking do for you. Because there are people who can't go to their families right now. There are people that are dying from it. And yes, it may not be as serious as the flu. It may not be serious as some of the other diseases out there. But let me tell you, because I work in the health field, there are 2 strains of the coronavirus. 2 strains. And one is worse than the other. And right now, there still is no damn cure for it. There may be some medications that are helping with it, but just because it helps with it does not mean that it actually completely, gets rid of the virus. It is such a strong, powerful virus that it actually still exists on surfaces, and that's why they tell you to stay at home, because it can basically live on anything. Live on wood, live on your clothes, live on the mask that you've been wearing. And it doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to get weaker, basically, by anything, really. It's already predicted that it might mutate again. That's why you see that they're still changing the date, and when they think everything's going to be, better. It used to be May. Now they're saying August. It is growing, you guys. Every day. Look at the numbers. Every day is going. I live in New Mexico. At first, 500 cases. Next, 700. Today, the latest, 800 over 800 cases. The governor of New Mexico, or I should not really say New Mexico, not the whole state. The governor of Albuquerque is actually thinking about bringing the National Guard into it now and building tents, making some other medical clinics, just clinics, not hospitals, clinics, making them into like test stations and getting more beds and things like that. Just to give you some ideas, there's not even any places for, crime right now. We'd be screwed if crime was to happen here in Albuquerque. If people were to go that crazy, and there's no places in the prisons in this the state. And yet we shouldn't talk about it. Yet we need to complain about staying home. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I'm really that appalled at my friends. I mean, I'm being serious. I'm really appalled at you guys. That you can think that selfishly. And some of you guys are fathers and mothers. And you think you can just go out with your sons and daughters and like, oh, no. Kids are getting it too. Yeah. Kids are getting it. Some people are getting it twice. They get cured from the virus and they get it again. And yet, no, we shouldn't talk about it. No, we should, go out and still have fun and complain. Let me just tell you what that stay at home actually means. They're not telling you that you have to stay in your home 24 hours a day. They know that you're going to have to get food. They know you're going to have to get supplies. But that's what you should just be getting. You don't need to be going out, trucking the streets and getting down and getting jiggy with it and playing music all day long and just driving around for fun. Trust me, there's going to be time for do that again. There's things you can do at home. You guys should be lucky that you can still buy things from like Amazon, that the mail hasn't stopped. Do you know over here at base, since I live in the dorms, anything that comes in through the mail is quarantined for 24 hours. We don't get our packages and for a whole day. Because people that have been helping you get your supplies and things that you're ordering from Amazon, they're catching it too. And just to tell you how serious this is right now, another thing, since again I'm in the military, just to pass this information, do you know that they're actually thinking about stopping the new recruits? Imagine right now, and I'm not trying to scare people, but imagine right now if a terrorist group wanted to attack and take advantage of everybody going on with this pandemic right now. What would happen? What would really happen? Do you think we'd be prepared for that? Think about it for a second. I already said we have a shortage of nurses. So if we were to go to war right now with any country, you don't think we're going to need nurses and health people? There's not enough, you guys. They're taking care of this pandemic right now. There's not enough. Do you know what I wish they would do? I wish right now that I could talk to one of my commanders, somebody, or whoever's in charge of this medical stuff going on. I would pray to let them reactivate my nursing license so that I could work as a nurse instead of staying at the gates, so I can make a difference. I wish that. I wish that I could talk to, I don't know, my first sergeant, my squadron commander, whoever I had to talk to. I don't care if it has to be General Goldfein. I wish that I could say, hey, let me be a 4N, because that's what, LPNs basically are here in the military. For those of you that actually have a college degree like I do, let me do that. Let me be one of those nurses that go in there and screen people. And let me make a difference. Because right now, that's actually what they're thinking about doing, you guys. They're actually having people that are in nursing school right now, people that are residents, trying to become doctors. They're trying to graduate them quickly. Because doctors and nurses are catching the virus. And some are dying. They're dying. And to think about it, like I said before, if they're having to send out letters asking people that have been retired from the military to come back, do you not realize how serious this is? And yet you want to complain. You think you're healthy and you want to brag about it. I don't have the virus. Again, what they do for you. because other people do. And other people can't see their family. They don't wake up and get to see their son, their daughters, their grandmothers. They don't get that privilege. My birthday, again, is in May 27th. And I'm probably going to have to be stuck here. And I can't go to celebrate myself. I can't go to celebrate with my family. Nope. I'm here. And I do have to say, I am a little bit happy that I get to, make somewhat of a difference and help out the veterans. But like I say, maybe, hopefully my story might touch some people. You're hearing it from somebody actually in the military. I can't leave the state of New Mexico. I'm stuck here. For who knows how freaking long. So stay at home. Trust me. Eventually you're going to be able to go out and have fun again. Go out to the clubs, go out to Pensacola Beach. For my friends that live back in Pensacola. You're going to be able to do those things again. But have patience. And I know some of my friends are extroverts. You love hanging out with people. You love going out there. I understand it. You're not like an introvert like me. You're not autistic and have a problem socializing with people. I get it. It's hard. For me, this is perfect. Like I said, I don't have no friends here. I don't talk to anybody. I don't talk to anybody in these dorms. So for me, this is perfect. It's the exact same thing that I do every day. Come here, watch some TV, play some video games, go to work. So it's perfect for somebody like me. But I get it. It's hard. And some of you guys, you rely on childcare. You rely, on people babysitting your kids. And all that stuff is gone. Isn't it? It's gone. Now your kids are staying home with you. Somebody has to stay home. Somebody has to watch those kids. Schools are canceling. And if you really want to talk about how serious this is, let me tell you, I have a friend. Some of you know I have a friend. I've been friends with a family who live in Blesko Biala, Poland. They live in Poland. The schools are canceled in Poland. My little pen pal is staying home with her sister and her parents. That's a whole different country. There's no school there. So, if you think the virus is not, again, doesn't think it's important to talk about, don't think it's serious, it's not just affecting us here. And again, don't be selfish. Don't be like bragging. I don't have the virus. I'm fine. I got out today. I went out running. I went out here. I went out there. I go to work. I took out my newborn son outside. He didn't get it. I didn't get it. We're okay. Well, great for you. But it's not the case for everybody. People are getting it. And maybe you think it's worth the risk. But I can guarantee you, when you get it, if you do get it, you're going to wish that you would have stayed at home. And by then, it could be a little bit too late. Or maybe, like I said, maybe have my license activated again, be called in because I have medical experience, and maybe it's me that has to save your butt. So think about that. I'm not looking for sympathy here, but call your friends, call your loved ones, check up on them. It takes 5 freaking seconds to text somebody. Text them. Ask them if they're okay. Ask them how things are. I mean, you're supposed to stay at home anyway, right? So what are you doing? I'm seeing people bored and complain. Call your friends then. Call somebody. Text somebody. Go old school. Stay up all night. You know, playing 20 questions. Ask each other stuff. Check on your friends. And stop saying that you care about your friends and that you love them so damn much, but you don't even call them when there's a freaking pandemic going on. Call your friends. Seriously. You know, if you're looking for something to do, call your friends. Text your friends. Facebook your friends. I meant not Facebook, I meant to say FaceTime your friends or Skype your friends. Let them hear your voice. Let them know that you're okay. You know? It really isn't that hard. And I understand that some of you may be busy. Yeah, you may be essential. You may have to still